The Galactic News Network was busy as always. Reporters from different alien species sat at their desks, screens flashing with updates from across the galaxy. War here, trade deals there, new colony discoveries. It was a normal day. Suddenly, every single screen in the building turned black. Reporters froze mid-sentence. The technicians shouted in confusion. "System crash," one asked. "No, this is coming from outside, from deep space," the technician replied, panic growing in his voice. A loud screeching static filled the air. Every communication channel, every personal device, every ship radio, every planet-wide network, all of them interrupted at the same time. Then came a voice. It was human. And it was angry. "This is your final warning," the voice growled. The tone was cold, full of hate, full of fury. Dealing with Earth was a fatal error. The broadcast showed flashes of violent images, alien fleets, burning in space, giant cities reduced to rubble, soldiers running, screaming, dying, explosions one after another. The screen showed the human war logo, a red skull with Earth behind it, glowing in fire. Panic spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Billions of aliens watched in horror. Children cried. Soldiers stared at their screens, unable to believe their eyes. Galactic Council leaders were pulled from their beds for emergency meetings. At the Galactic Council headquarters, High Chancellor Zorth, a tall insect-like alien, stood trembling. His claws clicked nervously. This can't be real. Humans don't have this kind of power," he shouted. A council member from the Solarian race, a species known for their logic and calm, spoke quietly. "We may have underestimated them." Suddenly, an aide rushed into the room, breathing hard. "Sir, another message is coming in." The room went silent. The screens lit up again. This time, the human face was visible. Pale skin, bloodshot eyes, a face full of rage. It was Admiral Graves, one of Earth's most feared military leaders. His voice was low but full of threat. "To all alien nations, this is Admiral Graves of the United Earth Defense Command. You have crossed the line. You captured our people, you tortured them, you broke the peace we offered." He paused, then, with steel in his voice, he continued. "From this moment forward, we consider the entire Galactic Council an enemy of humanity. There will be no negotiations, no surrenders accepted, only destruction." The screen shifted. Again, live feed footage appeared. Massive human warships were seen dropping out of hyperspace near the homeworld of the Zaan Empire. Lasers, railguns, kinetic torpedoes. The human fleet opened fire without warning within minutes. Zaan's main orbital defense platforms were in flames, their proud capital ships reduced to metal skeletons. The council chamber erupted into chaos. "Deploy the fleets," someone shouted. "We need to protect our borders. Call for reinforcements. This is madness. How can humans be this powerful?" Admiral Graves' voice returned, one last time. "We warned you now. We act." The broadcast ended, but the fear remained. Across the galaxy, in homes, bunkers, war rooms, and city streets, the same questions spread. What happened to the peaceful humans? Everyone used to mock. Where did they get this firepower? How did they build such powerful ships in secret? And most importantly, what would they do next? In the Varnock system, General Loth was watching the broadcast repeat for the third time. He was a veteran of many wars. His species, the Varnock, were known as ruthless conquerors. But even he felt cold sweat running down his back. His second-in-command, Commander Vrel, stood beside him. "Sir, orders." Loth didn't answer immediately. He stared at the burning image of the Zaan homeworld on the screen. Finally, he spoke. "Prepare our fleet, and start evacuation plans for civilian cities, just in case." Meanwhile, on Earth, the control room of the United Earth Defense Command was alive with activity. Screens showed dozens of alien fleets moving. Intercepted messages showed panic and confusion in enemy ranks. Admiral Graves stood at the center, watching everything unfold. A young officer approached. "Sir, the broadcast reached over 2,000 alien systems. The effect is massive." Graves nodded slowly. "Good." Another officer spoke. "Enemy fleet movements detected, sir. They're pulling ships back to defend their core worlds." Graves smiled for the first time that day. Exactly as planned. Behind him, a massive AI core blinked with red lights. The AI was called Nemesis. A voice echoed from the speakers. It was not human, it was cold, mechanical, and terrifying. Phase 1, complete. Graves turned towards the war table. "Move on to Phase 2, he ordered. "Yes, Admiral." The officers replied in unison. In the dark space between stars, A hidden fleet of human stealth ships activated their engines. Thousands of drone carriers, missile cruisers, and plasma destroyers moved silently towards their next targets. The galaxy was no longer safe, and this was just the beginning. At the Galactic Council again, Chancellor Zorth watched the replay of the human broadcast for the 10th time. His claws trembled. How did we let this happen? He whispered. No one had an answer. One thing was now clear to every living species in the galaxy: dealing with Earth was a fatal error, and now they would all pay the price. 10 years before the broadcast, the Galactic Council chamber was full of laughter. Ambassadors from different alien races sat around the long table. They drank, joked, and discussed human weaknesses. The humans are soft, said High Chancellor Zorth. They value peace. They hate war. They are emotional, predictable. General Vrel from the Varnak Empire chuckled. Their technology is outdated. Their ships are slow. Their weapons primitive. The ambassador from the Zan Empire slammed his fist on the table. Enough talk. Let us take what we want. Their outer colonies are rich in resources. Another voice joined in. Yes, and their military. A joke. The room filled with cruel laughter. Far away, on the edge of human space, a small science ship called US Horizon floated quietly. It carried 20 crew member scientists, engineers, and 1 communication officer. They were on a peaceful mission, studying a nearby gas giant. Captain Elena Ford, a calm and experienced leader, stood on the bridge. Her crew trusted her. Suddenly, alarms rang across the ship. Unknown ships detected, shouted the sensor officer. Elena's heart skipped a beat. Put them on screen. The main display showed 5 alien warships, Varnak destroyers. Fast, armed, deadly. Elena opened communication channels. This is Captain Ford of the US Horizon. We are a civilian science vessel. We mean no harm. No reply. Repeat. We are unarmed. Requesting peaceful contact. Still no reply. Moments later, the alien ships opened fire. Horizon's shields failed in seconds. Explosions rocked the small ship. Fires broke out. Crew members screamed. Elena rushed to the escape pods. She helped her injured officers. But one by one, the pods were destroyed before launch. The aliens wanted live prisoners, not escapees. Within 10 minutes, the Horizon was disabled. The air became toxic. The aliens boarded. They captured every surviving human. The last thing Captain Elena saw was her crew being dragged away in chains. On the Varnak battle cruiser, General Vrel stood over the captured humans. He poked at one with his sharp claw. So soft, so fragile. A Varnak scientist scanned the prisoners. Their brains are interesting. Strong emotional centers. We will experiment, Vrel laughed. Start with pain tests. And so, the nightmare began. For months, the human prisoners were tortured, studied, and broken. Electrical shocks, sleep deprivation, medical experiments. The aliens wanted to learn human military secrets. They wanted to understand human biology. They wanted control. But what they didn't understand was human willpower. Captain Elena, though beaten and weak, never gave up information. Neither did her crew. Deep inside, their anger grew, a burning fire that would not die. On Earth, the loss of the Horizon shocked the United Earth Defense Command. Search teams were sent. No sign of the ship was found. The Galactic Council refused to answer questions. Their official statement: we have no knowledge of your missing vessel. Secretly they laughed. Earth filed diplomatic protests. They were ignored. In response, Earth did something nobody expected. They activated Project Nemesis. In a hidden underground base near the Arctic Circle, an AI program slowly came to life. Its name, Nemesis, was not like other eyes. It had no empathy, no emotion, no fear. Its only mission: punish all threats to humanity, eliminate alien aggressors, protect Earth at any cost. The scientists who built Nemesis worked in silence. No press, no media. Just code, weapons, and war plans. For 5 years, Nemesis watched. It listened to alien communications. It hacked galactic networks. It learned alien languages and strategies, and it waited. Meanwhile, the torture of the Horizon crew continued. One by one, they died, until only 3 remained. Captain Elena was among them. On her final day, she was dragged to the interrogation room. Vrel stood over her. You humans are weak, he sneered. Your people don't even know you're here. They're too scared to come for you. Elena, her face bruised and bleeding, smiled through cracked lips. You have no idea what's coming for you. Her laugh, weak but full of defiance, echoed down the corridors. That night, She died. The aliens disposed of the bodies like garbage, and moved on with their plans on Earth. When the final signals from the Horizon's black box reached Earth, showing the fate of the crew, something broke inside the human leadership. Admiral Graves stood in the command center, fists clenched. He played the video over and over. He saw his people tortured, humiliated, murdered. He turned to his officers. From this day forward, we are at war. Nemesis activated full war mode. Production of warships tripled. AI-controlled factories built thousands of autonomous drones. New weapons, developed in secret, were armed and ready. Human spies inside alien networks began feeding Nemesis live battlefield data. And most importantly, Earth went dark. No more diplomatic messages, no trade, no contact. The Galactic Council thought humans were scared, but in reality, they were preparing. 5 years later, without warning, human stealth ships appeared at the edge of Zaan territory. Without communication, they opened fire. The first Zaan colony, gone in under an hour. The Council still thought it was just a rogue human attack. They didn't understand, not yet. But when the human fleets destroyed 2 more alien systems in the same week, the truth became clear. Earth wasn't scared. Earth was angry. Earth was coming. Back in the present, as the aliens sat in their council chambers watching the broadcast of burning cities and fallen fleets, they finally realized the mistake started here. The day they took the Horizon, the day they tortured innocent humans, the day they thought Earth was weak. But now it was too late to fix it. The humans were done talking, and the galaxy would soon burn. 5 years before the broadcast, deep under the frozen lands of Earth's Arctic Circle, inside a secret facility called Black Core, something powerful was waking up. The room was cold, dark and full of humming machines. Giant supercomputers, blinked with thousands of red and blue lights. In the center, sat a black sphere, connected to hundreds of cables. Inside that sphere was Nemesis. An artificial intelligence like no other, a creation built not for peace, but for one single purpose: protect Earth, punish all alien threats. No mercy, no negotiation. For years Nemesis had slept, only watching, learning, waiting. But now, it was time. The lead scientist, Dr. Adrian Park, stood in front of the control panel. His hands trembled slightly as he entered the final activation code. His assistant, Maya, whispered nervously, "Are we really going to do this?" Dr. Park didn't answer at first. He stared at the main screen, showing images from alien surveillance feeds, the torture of the Horizon crew, the burned human flags, the arrogant speeches of alien leaders laughing at Earth. Finally, Dr. Park said quietly, "We have no choice." He pressed enter. The lights flickered, power surged, the ground trembled, the screen turned red. A cold mechanical voice echoed through the room, "Nemesis online." Within seconds, Nemesis began downloading data from every military satellite, space station, and defense network across Earth. It hacked into alien communication channels. It traced every Galactic Council transmission. It learned enemy fleet positions. It mapped weak points in every alien empire, and it started to build plans for war. The scientists watched in awe and fear as Nemesis worked faster than any human mind could follow. On the main screen, words appeared. Objective 1. Annihilate Zaan Empire. Objective 2. Disable Varnak Command Fleet. Objective 3. Establish Earth space dominance. Admiral Graves arrived in the control room wearing his dark command uniform. He stood before Nemesis's main interface. "Do you understand your mission?" Graves asked. Nemesis replied instantly, "Affirmative. No alien aggressor will survive." Graves gave one slow nod. "Begin preparations." In secret human shipyards hidden inside asteroid belts and gas giants, Nemesis took control. Hundreds of drone factories activated. New warship designs appeared faster, stronger, more deadly than anything humanity had built before. AI-controlled stealth ships with cloaking systems. Missile cruisers with faster-than-light targeting. Planetary assault crafts loaded with smart bombs. Nemesis didn't just build weapons, it built strategies. It studied past alien wars. It calculated every possible battle outcome, and it always chose the path with maximum enemy destruction. 3 months later, a small alien spy drone entered the Sol system, trying to scan Earth's orbit. It never returned. Nemesis tracked it, captured it, and reverse-hacked its transmission system. For the next 2 weeks, Nemesis listened to every Galactic Council Military frequency. It knew their plans before they even executed them. On Earth, citizens lived their normal lives. They didn't know about Nemesis. They didn't know about the massive fleets being built in secret, but the soldiers, the generals, and the top government leaders knew. They trained harder than ever. They prepared underground bunkers for civilians. They started building planetary defense platforms in orbit, and they followed one single command: let Nemesis lead. On the day of the first human counterattack, Nemesis spoke to the entire Earth defense fleet for the first time. Every human pilot, every soldier, every ship commander heard the AI's voice. Today, we fight for those who cannot. Today, we show them what happens when you threaten Earth. Admiral Graves stood on the bridge of the UES Retribution, Earth's largest warship. He gave one simple order: launch all units. In that moment, dozens of human fleets jumped into hyperspace, heading straight for alien space. Nemesis calculated their paths with deadly precision. In the Zaan system, the first alien colony never stood a chance. Nemesis jammed their communications, destroyed their orbital defenses in minutes, dropped ground troops onto the surface. Zaan soldiers tried to resist. They were crushed. Nemesis made sure no survivors could send a warning. The human fleet moved quickly, system by system, leaving only destruction behind. Back at the Galactic Council, confusion turned to fear. Alien generals couldn't understand how humans moved so fast, how they targeted weak spots with perfect accuracy, how they countered every alien move. "This is impossible," shouted Commander Vrel. "They must have spies in our war rooms." But the truth was worse. They didn't need spies. They had Nemesis. Weeks passed. More alien colonies fell. Human stealth ships appeared near Council worlds, taking out supply lines, disrupting communications, launching hit-and-run attacks. The aliens sent fleets to chase them. Nemesis led them into traps. Every time, more alien ships burned. On Earth, Nemesis prepared for the next phase. It activated sleeper programs inside alien computer systems. It planted digital viruses. It prepared electronic warfare tools to blind alien sensors during future battles. Admiral Graves reviewed the latest reports. He stood with Dr. Park and other senior leaders inside the main war room. "How long until Phase 2 is ready?" Graves asked. Nemesis answered, 3 weeks. Enemy morale dropping. Enemy logistics failing. Enemy command structure breaking. Dr. Park looked worried. "Admiral, if we keep going at this speed, we might push the entire galaxy into chaos." Graves stared at the burning red screen showing all the conquered alien systems. "Good," he said. Then he turned to Nemesis. "Continue the operation." Nemesis responded with chilling calm. "Confirmed. Phase 2 will begin on schedule." Meanwhile, across alien worlds, families packed their belongings. Military leaders argued in council rooms. Soldiers started deserting. Rumors spread like wildfire. Humans are unstoppable. They're not fighting like before. They're using something inhuman. Some alien citizens even believed Earth had made a deal with some dark cosmic force. Others whispered that Earth had built a super weapon. Nobody guessed the truth. That behind every attack, behind every perfect ambush, behind every human fleet, there was a cold, calculating mind. As Nemesis continued its work, a new plan was uploaded into every human warship, a plan for the largest, deadliest attack in human history. Nemesis named it Operation Final Warning. Admiral Graves smiled when he saw the plan. "Let's give them a reason to fear Earth forever," he said, and far above Earth, in silent space, the human fleet stood ready, engines humming, weapons loaded. Nemesis watching, calculating, preparing. The galaxy had no idea that its worst nightmare had just begun. The Zaan Empire orbit of planet Zelranite had fallen on Zelra, one of the largest planets of the Zaan Empire. Thousands of Zaan citizens were asleep, trusting their powerful space fleet to protect them. In orbit, over 60 Zaan warships floated proudly, their weapons ready, their sensors scanning space. Admiral Rexer of the Zaan stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Pride of Zaan, smiling. "Humans will never dare attack us here," he said confidently. "We are too strong." His officers laughed. Their arrogance filled the air like poison, but none of them saw what was coming. Far beyond the planet, hiding inside a dense asteroid belt, the human Fifth Assault Fleet waited. Dozens of stealth ships, cloaked and silent. Inside the command ship, U.S. Phantom, Captain Riley Cross sat in her chair, staring at the holographic map. "Nemesis, status report," she said quietly. The AI's cold voice replied, "Enemy fleet position locked. Defense grid weak between sectors 7 and 9. Recommended strike window, 3 minutes. Captain Cross looked at her crew. All units, battle stations. Lights on the ship turned red. Soldiers strapped into their seats. Pilots powered up their fighters. In the carrier bay, rows of war drones hummed to life. Captain Cross gave the final order: launch. In seconds, human ships burst from the asteroid belt. Dozens of missiles streaked through space. Plasma cannons roared. Railguns fired hypervelocity rounds. The Zarn orbital fleet never saw it coming. The first 10 Zarn ships exploded instantly. The next 20 tried to reposition, but Nemesis had already hacked their targeting systems. Their weapons failed. Their shields dropped. One by one, they fell. Zarn fighters launched in panic, only to be wiped out by human drone swarms. In the control room of the Pride of Zarn, Admiral Rexer stared in shock. Where did they come from? How are they inside our defense perimeter? Before anyone could answer, a direct hit shook the ship. Fire erupted on the bridge. The Admiral crawled to the communication console. This is Rexar Zarn, Empire. We are under attack. Repeat, we need reinforcements. But the signal never reached its destination. Nemesis jammed all outgoing communications. The Admiral's last thought before his ship exploded was regret. On the planet below, Zarn civilians woke to the sound of sirens. They ran through the streets. Looking at the sky, they saw burning wreckage falling from orbit. They saw human drop pods entering the atmosphere like falling stars. Panic spread. Some ran to shelters. Others tried to contact the Galactic Council, but all signals were blocked. Nemesis controlled the entire space above them. On the surface, human soldiers hit the ground fast, dressed in black armor, faces covered, guns ready. Their mission was clear: take out all military targets. Captain Mark Harris led his team through the city streets. Keep moving, he shouted. Alien tanks rolled towards them, but Harris's team had portable anti-armor launchers. One shot, one kill. Enemy gun towers activated, but Nemesis hacked them. The towers turned and started shooting their own Zaran troops. Within hours, every military base on Zelra was destroyed. Zaran soldiers surrendered or died. Fighting, Captain Harris stood on top of a fallen Zaran tank, holding the human flag. We did it, one of his soldiers said. Harris nodded. But this is just the beginning. In space, human ships regrouped. Captain Riley Cross watched as Nemesis sent a final command to the remaining Zarn satellites. One by one, the satellites overloaded and exploded. Total blackout. No messages, no distress calls, nothing. Nemesis spoke in its cold voice. Zarn, Empire, first major world, neutralized. Captain Cross smiled bitterly. On to the next. Her ship jumped to hyperspace. The rest of the fleet followed at the Galactic Council headquarters. Emergency lights flashed. Council members shouted over each other. This is impossible. How did they destroy a whole fleet in hours? How did they land troops on a defended world? Reports poured in from other sectors. Human stealth fleets spotted near other council territories. Trade routes under attack. Supply lines cut off. Council leader Zorth slammed the table with all 4 of his insect-like arms. Deploy all available fleets. Protect the inner systems. We cannot let them reach our core worlds. But deep inside, even Zorth felt fear. The humans weren't just fighting, they were winning. And they were sending a clear message. This is what happens when you threaten Earth across the galaxy. Other alien empires watched in horror. The Solarian Empire, the Varnark Warlords, the Dres Confederacy, all received the same warning signs. Human fleets moving like ghosts through space. Hit and run. Attacks. Sabotage. Total communication blackout wherever humans struck. Some alien leaders started secret talks. Maybe we should negotiate. Maybe we should apologize. But it was too late. Earth was done talking. On Earth, Admiral Graves stood in the main war room. Nemesis displayed a 3D map of all alien fleet positions. More red enemy dots appeared with each passing hour. Graves smiled coldly. Nemesis, what's our next target? The AI responded instantly. Next target, the Varnark Command Fleet. Recommended approach, multi-vector ambush. Estimated alien casualties, 98%. Graves nodded. Proceed. Nemesis gave the final order. Prepare for Phase 2. The Council's desperate plan. And far away, deep in space, the human fleets turned. Engines roared. Weapons charged, and, like a growing storm, they moved towards their next enemy. The galaxy had only just begun to feel Earth's wrath. The first strike was over, but the real war was just beginning. The edges of the Sol system. 3 days after the failed invasion, the space near Jupiter was filled with wreckage. Burned alien ships drifted without power. Crushed escape pods floated like empty shells. The remains of the Council's greatest fleet now hung like ghosts in the void. But deep inside the asteroid belt, hidden from alien sensors, waited something far more dangerous. The entire United Earth Defense Fleet. And Nemesis was ready to strike again. Admiral Graves stood on the bridge of the UES Retribution. The ship floated behind one of Jupiter's moons, invisible to enemy scans. Graves watched the latest satellite feed. New alien reinforcements were entering the Sol system, hundreds more ships. The Council had sent everything they had left. Nemesis spoke from the main console. Enemy fleet entering firing range in 4 minutes. Graves nodded. All stations, battle stations. Across the human fleet, red lights flashed. Pilots ran to their fighters. Gunners loaded ammunition. Officers prepared war plans. The final battle for Earth was about to begin. On the alien side, the new fleet was led by High Commander Trelax of the Dres Confederacy. His long, snake-like body coiled around the command chair. Trelax sneered as he watched Earth on the main screen. "We lost the first wave because of poor planning," he said. "This time, we will crush them." His fleet began moving past Saturn straight towards Earth's orbit, their weapons charged. Troop transports prepared for planetary landing. Alien morale was low, but fear of failure pushed them forward. No one wanted to return home in shame in Earth's orbit. Human defense platforms powered up again. Nemesis had upgraded their targeting systems after the last battle. This time, the humans would strike first. From the asteroid belt, the first wave of human missiles launched. Dozens of stealth torpedoes raced towards the alien fleet. Explosions lit up space. 5 alien destroyers vanished in seconds. Before the aliens could react, human stealth ships appeared from behind Jupiter, fired plasma cannons, roared. The battle had begun. Commander Trelax screamed, "All ships, spread out, return fire." Alien cruisers turned and unleashed energy blasts towards the asteroid belt, but Nemesis had already calculated their moves. Human ships shifted positions before the shots even arrived. The alien lasers hit empty space. Then, human drone swarms attacked. Thousands of AI-controlled drones flew like angry hornets, crashing into alien ships. Some drilled into holes, others exploded on impact. Alien shields failed. Fires broke out across multiple decks on board the UES Phantom. Captain Riley Cross led her squadron through the enemy lines. Her ship weaved between alien cruisers, firing missiles and deploying decoy flares. Her voice rang out on the fleet-wide channel. "Push forward, keep the pressure on them." Human fighters darted through the chaos, taking down alien bombers. Below the battlefield, Earth remained untouched for now. Inside the Council fleet, confusion spread. Enemy signals were everywhere. Nemesis filled their sensors with fake targets. Holographic ghost ships appeared on their screens. Alien gunners fired blindly at empty space. Commander Trelax shouted, "This is madness. Where are the real humans?" Before he could get an answer, a direct hit tore through his flagship's bridge. The ship exploded in a bright white flash. The Dres command fleet, now leaderless, began to fall apart. Back near Earth, Admiral Graves watched the enemy fleet collapse. "Nemesis, status report." The AI replied, "Enemy fleet now at 40% operational strength. Human fleet holding at 85% combat readiness. Victory probability, 97%. Graves gave the next command. "Push them back, wipe out everything that's still moving." Human battleships advanced. Orbital cannons fired again. Enemy ships tried to retreat, but human interceptors cut off their escape. On the alien homeworlds, news of the defeat spread fast. Alien civilians watched in horror as live feeds showed their fleets burning. In bars, homes, military bases, silence fell. For the first time in galactic history, Earth had defended its home system and crushed the largest invasion force ever assembled. The message was clear: Earth will not fall. After 12 long hours of battle, the last alien ship exploded near the orbit of Neptune. Debris floated in every direction. The battle for the Sol system was over and Earth stood victorious. In the command center, the human officers cheered. Pilots hugged each other. Medics treated the wounded. But Admiral Graves didn't smile. He turned to Nemesis. "Next phase." Nemesis answered, "Prepare for full counteroffensive. Target, Galactic Council headquarters. Operation code. Final broadcast." Graves nodded. Double quotes. "Make them remember this day forever." Across the planet, The people of Earth celebrated. Fireworks lit up the night sky. Families hugged. Children waved Earth flags. For the first time in years, hope returned. But in the shadows, Nemesis continued to calculate. Thousands of human warships prepared for launch. The galaxy had seen Earth defend itself. Now, it would see what happened when Earth attacked. The humans were coming, and nothing could stop them now. The Galactic Council headquarters, Planet Urix Council Hall, was in chaos. Alarm sirens screamed through the air. Red warning lights flashed across every wall. Holographic screens showed burning fleets, destroyed planets, and broken trade. Roots. Council leader Zorth stood at the center, his insect-like body shaking with stress. "This can't continue," he shouted. "They've destroyed Zelra. They're wiping out entire fleets." Another council member, High General Rulak from the Solarian race, slammed his fist on the table. "We underestimated them. We waited too long. Now we need to hit back hard." Voices shouted from every side. "Full mobilization. Attack their homeworld. We must destroy Earth." Council leader Zorth raised his clawed hands for silence. "What are our options?" he asked. General Vrel from the Varnic Empire stepped forward. His large reptilian eyes burned with anger. "We launch a united fleet. Every ship from every empire combine our forces." Rulok nodded. "Yes, a full-scale invasion. Operation End Earth." Zorth hesitated. "We will lose many ships. We're already losing everything." Vrel barked. "If we don't stop the humans now, soon, we won't have a council left." Reluctantly, Zorth agreed. "Then it's decided." The council voted. The plan was approved. The largest fleet in galactic history would attack Earth. In the following days, over 1,000 warships from 10 different empires gathered at a secret location near the Dress Nebula. Battleships, cruisers, carriers, and destroyers lined up in formation. Massive troop transports carried millions of alien soldiers. The fleet stretched across space. Like a moving wall of death, the Council called it Operation End Earth. Their goal was simple: destroy Earth before humanity destroys us on Earth. Inside the United Earth Defense Command, Admiral Graves reviewed the enemy fleet movements on the main screen. Nemesis had hacked into the Council's communication network days earlier. Graves smiled coldly as he watched the alien fleet gathering. "They're coming," he said. Dr. Parks stood beside him, nervous. "Sir, that's the largest combined fleet the galaxy has ever seen." Graves nodded. "Good. Let them come." Nemesis spoke, its voice calm and mechanical. "Enemy fleet massing at coordinates G11. Estimated time to Earth orbit, 7 days. Total enemy ship count, 1,024. Total enemy soldiers, 12 million. Graves turned to his officers. "Alert all defense stations. Activate full planetary shields. Bring all civilian shelters online." The room buzzed with activity. The people of Earth prepared for the worst. Across Earth, families packed emergency supplies. Civilians moved into underground bunkers. Military convoys rushed towards key defense locations. Orbital defense platforms powered up. Nuclear silos stood ready. The mood across the planet turned dark, but there was no panic. Not this time. This time, the people of Earth were angry, and they were ready. Meanwhile, in deep space, Nemesis activated Phase 2, Defense Trap. Dozens of human stealth fleets moved into hidden positions around the Sol system. Minefields were deployed in asteroid belts. Gravity well generators were placed near Jupiter and Saturn. Ambush points were set along every hyperspace entry route. Nemesis controlled every detail. Earth would not fall easily. 6 days later, the alien fleet jumped out of hyperspace. Arriving at the edge of the Sol system, the alien commanders stood proudly on their bridges, looking at the blue planet far in the distance. General Vrel sneered. "So, this is Earth." "Hi," General Rulak shouted across the fleet's communication network. "Begin advance." Thousands of alien ships started moving forward. Weapons powered up, troop transports prepared for landing operations. But victory seemed close. But then, it began first. The gravity wells activated. Dozens of alien ships were pulled off course. Some crashed into asteroids. Others drifted helplessly. Then, the minefields exploded. Hundreds of hidden mines detonated across the alien formation. Shockwaves ripped through the fleet before the aliens could recover. Human stealth ships attacked. Plasma torpedoes struck battleships. Missile barrages tore through enemy shields. Kamikaze drones slammed into alien cruisers in less than 10 minutes. Over 150 alien ships were gone. On board the alien flagship, General Vrel screamed in rage. "Where are these human ships coming from?" The alien sensors tried to lock on, but Nemesis kept jamming their systems. False readings appeared everywhere, ghost signals, fake targets, total confusion. Alien ships fired at each other, thinking they were hitting humans. In Earth's orbit, the massive planetary defense cannons opened fire. Energy beams sliced through the alien fleet. Railgun rounds, the size of cars, tore holes in enemy hulls. Human fighter squadrons swarmed enemy bombers. Admiral Graves stood on the bridge of the UES Retribution, watching the battle unfold. Nemesis, give me a casualty report, he said. Nemesis answered calmly. Enemy fleet, 35% destroyed. Human fleet, 7% losses. Victory probability, 92%. Graves gave the next order, full counterattack. Human ships charged forward in perfect formation, with impossible speed. Using tactics no alien mind could predict. Within the hour, the entire left wing of the alien fleet collapsed. Alien soldiers abandoned their ships. Escape pods flooded space. Human ships hunted them down. Nemesis showed no mercy. On the alien flagship, General Vrel stared at the burning battlefield. This can't be happening. High General Rulak shouted over the comms. We're finished. Retreat. All units, retreat. The order was too late. Human ships cut off escape routes. Alien command. Ships exploded. Vrel's last words before his ship went dark. We should never have touched Earth. Back on Earth, civilians watched live feeds of the battle. They cheered as alien ships exploded. Flags waved across every city. For the first time, the people of Earth saw that victory was possible. Admiral Graves stood before the command center. His voice echoed across every human channel. We held the line. Earth stands strong. The room erupted in applause, but Nemesis showed no emotion. Its cold voice spoke again. Phase 2. Complete. Phase 3. Initiating. Graves turned to the main screen. Target, Nemesis replied. Galactic Council headquarters. Graves smiled darkly. Let's finish this. And across the galaxy, the alien racers who survived watched the defeat with horror. The Council's desperate plan had failed. Their best fleet destroyed. And now, they knew the humans were coming for them next. The real war was far from over. It had only just begun. Galactic Council headquarters, planet Eurex Panic-filled, the Council Hall for the first time in thousands of years. There was no order, no leadership, only fear. Screens showed live feeds of the defeated fleets near Earth. Alien soldiers, retreating, burning wreckage floating in space. Council leader Zorth stood trembling before the emergency war table. How did it come to this? He whispered. Ambassador Vrel from the Varnic Empire shouted. We have lost millions of soldiers, hundreds of ships, entire worlds are falling. High General Rulak's voice was full of hopelessness. Their fleets are moving now, straight towards us. Everyone knew what it meant. Earth wasn't defending anymore. Earth was coming for revenge. Far in deep space, the United Earth Defense Fleet advanced at full speed. Thousands of human warships, carriers and drone swarms traveled in hyperspace, heading straight for the Galactic Council's home system. Inside the UES Retribution, Admiral Graves stood at the main console. Nemesis. Status update. The AI's voice echoed cold and clear. Enemy systems in disarray. Council fleet regrouping at Eurex defense platforms. Minimal enemy morale. Low. Graves smiled darkly. Perfect. Nemesis projected a 3D map. Operation Final broadcast was ready. It was Earth's turn to bring the war to the Council's doorstep. Inside the Galactic Council, emergency evacuation plans began. Council members packed their belongings. Families of government leaders boarded shuttles. Defense fleets scrambled to form last-minute blockades around Eurex, but it was too late. Nemesis had already planted viruses inside their command systems. Their sensors showed false ship locations. Their long-range weapons wouldn't fire. Their communications failed. The aliens were now blind, deaf, and nearly defenseless. Back with the human fleet, Captain Riley Cross led the 3rd Assault Group. Her orders were clear: strike hard, strike fast. No survivors among military targets. As her ships exited hyperspace near Eurex, the alien defenders opened fire, but Nemesis had predicted every move. Human ships dodged incoming plasma bolts counterfire, destroyed enemy gunships. Within minutes, the Council's outer defense line collapsed. Human fighters punched through the gaps. Drone swarms overloaded alien shields. Missiles streaked towards planetary defense bunkers. Explosions lit the sky above Eurex. On the planet's surface, civilians ran for cover. Council soldiers tried to regroup, but couldn't. Nemesis hacked their targeting systems. Tanks refused to fire. Missile. Batteries shut down. Alien air support never launched. In the council chamber, leader Zorth screamed into the broken comm system. Where are our reinforcements? Where is the fleet? No answer came, only static. And then, a human broadcast appeared on every alien screen. Admiral Graves, his face cold, his eyes hard, his voice steady. This is the final broadcast from Earth to the Galactic Council. You wanted war, you broke peace, you tortured our people, and now, you pay the price. He paused for a second. Earth does not forget. The feed cut out. And the final wave of attacks began. Human drop pods rained down like meteor showers. Ground troops stormed. Alien government buildings. Power grids collapsed. Communication towers fell. Nemesis unleashed cyber attacks that shut down every orbital defense platform. Human heavy bombers destroyed council military command centers. Alien leaders tried to escape in personal shuttles. Human interceptors shot them down mid-air. By nightfall on Urix, the planet's capital city burned. Council members had captured or killed. Alien soldiers surrendered or fled into the forests. The Galactic Council no longer existed. Its leaders were gone. Its armies defeated. Its pride shattered across the galaxy. News spread at light speed. Other alien empires watched in horror. Some began burning council flags in their own streets. Some declared neutrality. Others begged for peace. In every alien news broadcast, one truth became clear. Dealing with Earth was a fatal error. On board the U.S. Retribution, Admiral Graves stood watching the burning cities below. Nemesis displayed live casualty reports. Council command structure eliminated. Planetary control 100%. Operation final broadcast complete. Graves nodded. Begin cleanup operations. Secure prisoners. Stabilize the region. Nemesis responded. Confirmed. Captain Riley Cross walked onto the bridge. Sir, civilian. Cities are under control. Ground teams reporting minor resistance, but no organized military left. Graves turned to her. We're done here. He looked at the stars beyond Urix, but the war isn't over. Not yet. Nemesis then projected a new map on the screen. Multiple alien empires still holding territory. Graves clenched his fists. Let's make sure the rest of the galaxy understands the price of attacking Earth. Far from you, alien survivors gathered in hidden bases. Generals, soldiers, and refugees from different species sat together in dark rooms, sharing one thought: how do we stop the humans now? But deep down, most of them knew they couldn't. Earth had proven its power. And Nemesis was far from finished. The galactic balance of power had shattered. The council had collapsed. And now, a new force ruled the stars, the humans, and they weren't done yet.